Welcome to Toffee TV. It's the match preview. Spurs away at Wembley in a tough game. It's a tough game, this one. Obviously we've lost 3 in a row, and this could be 4 if we're not careful. Spurs are a good side, a very, very good side. Although, you know, people talked about their home record this season and having problems at Wembley. They've done quite well so far, I would say. The odd draw against teams we probably should have beat. Obviously they were beaten by Chelsea there, but when you look at the teams they have beaten, destroyed Liverpool there, battered Real Madrid there, you know, they've done alright. They're a decent side.
Very good side. And you're right, it could well be 4 on the spin for Everton, but you know, these are still, I mean, Arsenal come down and spanked us at Goodison, but we were in disarray that day. These are the best team I've seen at Goodison. You know, United have been there, Chelsea have been there, Spurs for me. I don't know about you, but I was really impressed with Tottenham. We didn't even lay a glove on them in that. The first 20 was quite tight, but once they went ahead, I thought they were magnificent at Goodison, and it could have been more than the 3 that they got. Because at that time we were all right, weren't we? We were still quite solid when Arsenal
it was the back of the international break, wasn't it?
When Arsenal came, in fact, this was the first game that I went to, and come back from America. Come back all happy, ready, refreshed, and we got spanked. Now they're an excellent side, and you're right, people wondered what it would be like at Wembley, because obviously the European campaign wasn't great there last year. And although they've had a couple of games, like Burnley drew there with them, didn't he? And they had the West Brom draw, and they've been unconvincing in some other games. They put that 4 past Liverpool, 5 past Stoke. You know, they've got goals in them. It's a big pitch, and it'll be very, very tough for Everton.
Well, West Ham went there last week and they drew 1-1 with them. Obviously 2 absolute screamers in the game, but I think that might show the blueprint how Sam Allardyce could possibly play. Revert to type, get men behind the ball, because that's what West Ham did effectively. Spurs had a lot of the ball, and
you say effectively.
Well, they got draw
31 shots.
Yeah, but wow. This is Liverpool.
Liverpool stats
had 8 million shots against us at Anfield.
No, what I'm saying, when you looked at it was 31 shots to 3.
Yeah, it was.
But it ends 1-1.
But we've gone into games and had, it doesn't matter, does it? They're smashing shots from left, right, and centre, and they're going high, wide, and handsome. It doesn't really matter, does it? So that might be a blueprint that he might look to. It's a big pitch. I don't know whether that goes against us. Well, I think pace-wise, it goes against us if we're not playing a team with pace in it, because trying to get to one end of the pitch to the other for our team will take about 3 weeks. In fact, we might as well have a car at the side. Although just put Jags in. Jags can just leg it.
Jags on the shot off the shoulder. Just a little slinky black dress off the shoulder.
Okay.
Well, we were on any other business.
That might be the way. That might be the way to look at it. Although, you know, coming off the back of the game again at Anfield, maybe if we have got a couple of more players, with James McCarthy having another week training and resting, and Balassi having another week, and what he saw from Lookman, if he liked what he saw, and maybe you'll think, well, we've got a couple more players now, we can be that little bit more expansive, and we don't need to fear them as much, even though you do have to fear them. But what I mean by that is, if you're playing against a team like Liverpool and you've played well against them, you might just feel like, well, we can keep that going. Spurs have got good players, but we can just keep that going. Yeah,
but again, it was a bit more conservative, wasn't it, for an hour against Liverpool, and then we kind of went for it. If you can keep it tight, I see him trying to do the same kind of thing here. I mean, I suppose the big question is Tosun. Does he go straight in, or does he come off the bench? You know, do we go with Calvert-Lewin and just let him, try and work their back four? You know, they still will without Alderweireld, who's a fantastic defender. But still, they're still very good at the back end.
Well, on Tosun, is there anything to lose by not playing him? I mean, if he's trained all week and he's fit, I mean, he'd been playing and then he'd had a couple of weeks off, which is only going to do him good, really. I mean, we don't know what his levels are in terms of is he at Premier League level. They don't know. But if he's trained and he's had a good week, surely you'd play him, because
he's only had a week off, didn't he?
Yeah.
He played the third.
Well, no, he'll have had 2 weeks off by now.
2 by the time he played with the training. I mean, it was Thursday, wasn't it? So
what? There's nothing. There's no point in nothing.
I just mean, do you just do? That's what I'm saying. Do you just put him straight in and go right, off we go, or do you keep him for West Brom on a Wednesday at Goodison and give him his full home debut?
I just think you play him.
I mean, he probably will play him because he bought him. He's a specialist. I'm just saying. I'm just weighing it up. Because Calvert-Lewin, do we let him do the hour and then we put Tosun on with if the game's quite, and give them something to, who's this fella coming on, don't know anything about him. Last half an hour if it's Eddie, or do we just throw him straight in? Like, you're right, he'll have had a week's training under his belt. He's fit anyway because he's played international football, Champions League football. He's played 24 games, I think, for Besiktas this season. So, he'll be fit enough. I don't think there's anything to worry about there. It's just whether you throw him straight in. But a 20 odd million pound striker, you probably do throw straight in.
I just think if he's fit, you play him.
And
I don't mean that's not like Calvert-Lewin has run himself into the ground. But if you're buying a striker to play him, to better your team, I just think you play him.
Do you think
there's a week between the West Brom game's next Saturday, so there's a week between
the night game, the West Brom game? Which is the night game?
The Leicester game.
Leicester, sorry.
There's a week, so I think if he's fit and he's ready, you start him. You just say, well, this is a lad who's coming in who really has got the rest of the season to get used to the Premier League. This is his getting to know period. If people think he's gonna, if he hits the ground running, brilliant.
Great,
If he does a Yelovich, amazing. But if he takes a little bit of time,
I want to do a bit better than Yelovich.
Well,
I want to carry on.
Yeah. But the point is that if he starts well, then that's fantastic.
Yeah.
But he might take a little bit of time. So for me, you play him.
Just give him a game.
You play and see, people probably think I'm contradicting myself because of other players, but this is, for me, this is a position where if you're a centre forward, I think you need games in a, and also there's a pressure-free situation now. You can go in. I know we do need to win 4 games. Just to obviously to sort ourselves out. But if he plays and then he plays, next week at home, and then maybe you go, well, now all right, we'll rest you for the next one, and then Dom comes back or whatever. I just think if he's fit to go, you just give him a game.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably going to play most of the games anyway, isn't he? And he should do, because we're trying to build him into our team, aren't we? I suppose the question would be, does he go with a more attacking line-up with the 2 wide players who we finish with, who were fast and with a threat on the break, or is it conservative and again push for that last half an hour? Because we did set Liverpool, and having Lookman and Balassi, we could see how you can counter attack when you've got quicker players. And we talked about Lookman on, I think it was the final word, and we said about when he gets it out of his feet and plays the simple ball, how effective he is. And you'd give Spurs something to worry about playing like that.
Yeah.
I just don't know whether he'll want to just try and shore it up, like you said initially. I mean, West Brom went there and were very conservative.
Well, that's the only thing that not worries me, but that would leave a doubt in my mind about playing Tosun, is that if he isn't fit, like at the start of the week, they think, well, we can get you fit. Tactically, was that go against them? Because if we do play in that kind of way, in a more of a defensive way, the centre forward is going to have to know that role, what Dom's been doing. Because some people probably think he doesn't do anything, but he works really, really hard just to buy players time in midfield to join up, and I think that's a really key role. But that's what I was going back to saying about the derby, where I said about when Nias came on. He didn't offer that. No. He tried to join in, and that let them step up 5 yards. Where I think Dom just keeps the defence on the back foot at least to just try and let the midfield join in. And I think that's the only thing about Tosun, is if he comes in and doesn't know that role, that might be where you go, well, yeah, sit on the bench, watch what he's doing.
But if you watch the, and I know we've been burnt many a time by watching clips on YouTube and everything else, but if you watch, even in that game that a lot of Evertonians sat down and watched over Christmas, he does link the play very well, gets hold of it, he's strong, he lays it off, and he'll link it a lot better than what Dom will do at the moment.
No, I think he will.
The game.
I think he will. But what I mean in terms of if he don't think he's up to the levels, then maybe a lot of the training this week will be trying to get him up to those levels. So tactically, he mightn't join in as much on those other elements. So it might be where you go, well, I'll tell you what, once you're at that level, or you're a bit closer, then we'll dip you into the first division. It might be that this game might come too quickly for him, just in terms of his fitness and knowing what his job is.
It'd be like you say, the last half an hour.
Maybe,
come off the bench, and then centre backs are thinking, but who's this fella? What does he do? What runs does he make? Is he decent in the air? Does he want to tear me? Does he want to play on the shoulder? Does he come and show for it? They're not going to know, are they? Whereas sometimes in a game, it's like I always remember when Torres left Chelsea and went to Liverpool, and they had Liverpool the first game, and everyone was saying, he's going to be sub, and Chelsea started them, and remember Jamie Carragher saying after the first few minutes his touch wasn't right and that, and the fear went, whereas he said if he'd have brought him on with half an hour to go when they were getting a bit more tired, he said it'd have unsettled them and he'd have been able to. And I always think that sometimes with the strikers, this is why on Friday when people were clamouring to be signed in time for the Liverpool game, and he's got to start, and I was thinking, don't put him straight in when he doesn't even know anyone, and he's puts the shirt on. However, how the game went on, you'd think, imagine if he came off the bench at 1-1 with 20 minutes to go. The
fear factor.
They would have been, who's this fella? What does he do? We can't give him any, and it might have opened it up for someone else. So you've got that. That's a little thing that you have to weigh up. Do we trust them to come? Not trust them's not the right word. Do we bring him on with half an hour to go when he can do the half an hour quite easily with his fitness? And do we save that full debut for Goodison with his own crowd behind him, where we'll be on the front foot a little bit more? That's all things they've got to weigh up.
Yeah. I mean, Spurs are they're a very good unit, aren't they? I mean, obviously the main assets are Kane, Dele Alli. Dele Alli less so this season, but looks like he's picked up a bit of form recently. I watched him against Swansea, and he's horrible. He's a horrible player, but he's a horrible player that you'd love in your own team, let's be honest. He's snide and he throws himself around, and he's not asked about putting a foot in. Kevin De Bruyne will tell you that. But his movement's so good as well. I mean, his goal against Swansea players are all looking at Harry Kane, and he just walks in behind them. He's not interested in what they're doing. He's interested in what Harry Kane's doing, and he's already on the move, and it makes Harry Kane plays a great ball to him, but Harry Kane knows because of the relationship. But he's been not struggling for goals. Fucking hell, I wish he had been struggling goals recently. Kane, I don't know whether his fitness has been just slightly off, or he's been fatigued. And they played him last week against Wimbledon, and obviously scored. Be interesting to see how he is against us. I mean, he just seems like one of those players who just wants to play footy. Doesn't seem to be asked about anything else. You know what I mean? Like the drama of anything else in footy, like other people are. He just wants to play footy and get on with it, which is brilliant. It's exactly what you want. He
doesn't seem to cause any problems, does he? Just does it for his team or for anything away from the game. He just gets on with it, puts the ball in the net and goes home, doesn't he? They're
like chalk and cheese, aren't they? It's like, even in a game, Dele Alli sort of likes to...
He plays on the edge, doesn't he?
Well, he likes to get almost caught up in the drama that almost like helps him play, whereas Kane just sort of wants to stay away from the sort of like the quiet man, but he'll put the ball in the back of the net. So they almost seem to have different on-field personalities, which seems to have helped them quite a lot, because it's almost like as people are trying to get involved with Dele Alli, they're sort of forgetting that Harry Kane's there, but he's such a lethal finisher. Like, you just can't leave him alone.
He's strange. When he was coming through, I was like, he's not going to do anything special. He can't run there, he's not quick, he's not great in the air, hasn't got a trick. goal after goal after goal after goal after goal, and you know you'd have to hold your hand up, don't you? It's not wrong that often about like players like that strikers where you look and go, yeah, he'll do what he wants, but he is one where you have to go, you know what? Every year.
He's had a weird, as you mentioned there, a weird career trajectory. His tongue's ridiculous. Let's get it right now.
I think, you know what? I think even forget his tongue. Even a few years ago, he was on the bench for Leicester in the playoff.
Yeah, he's playing in Norwich. He's got Norwich.
He got gone on loan to, which you know what helps. It does help players, but sometimes they don't come back to scale the heights that he has. They come back and be good players, but he's come
But it's
back
almost about wanting it, isn't it? I mean, he got lucky getting into the side. And even like his early goals, I remember the free kick. He scored a free kick against Villa, and it like bounced off the wall and went in. But it was almost like it was the relief of just getting that goal. And he never
scored a lot in the Europa League, didn't he?
Yeah, that was
he'd come in and get goals.
To be honest, I'm hoping that like almost like you know we mentioned Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I'm hoping there's almost a bit of that in Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I'm just thinking because it was almost like it's almost like Kane was developing his all-round game, and the goals came last almost.
Yeah.
But he had everything, all the other parts of his game, and I see a little bit of that in Dom, where he's getting all the parts of his game, but the goals haven't quite come yet. And I know that'll be the make or break, and it normally is in centre forwards. Let's be honest. Yeah. It normally always is. They're good players, but it's whether they can put the ball in the back of the net, which will make them the top one. But that's what just gives me that little bit of hope about him.
I was going to say when you were talking about Kane and all the other bits of the game, the goals come last with someone like Romelu Lukaku. The goals came first, and all the rest of his game suffered. Because I remember his coach saying it in Belgium when he was 16, because he was scoring goals immediately. He didn't work on the rest of his game. He didn't have to, because he was putting the ball in the net, and no one's ever done that. Where with Kane, like you say, the goals weren't as free flowing, so his hold up play was better and different aspects. And you're right about, I suppose, about the likes of Calvert-Lewin, whereas if he's doing everything else, developing other parts of his game, you hope that it clicks and then the goals do come.
Maybe going on all those loans sort of help them out, just sort of get a perspective on the game. And whereas, like you said, some players go the wrong way with that, and they're unsettled and they don't settle down. And whereas Kane's come back to Tottenham, just got a perspective, and the opportunities have risen as well. Like you said, he played loads of games in the Europa League and scored. That gave him the opportunity. As I say, you just hope that someone like Dom, because he's playing games, is just, as I say, building all those parts of his game, and then maybe one day it'll click. I don't know whether he'll ever. Well, I doubt he will ever be as lethal as Harry Kane. But if he can be half as lethal as Harry Kane, he'll have a decent career, and especially if his role isn't necessarily to score goals, which is odd thing, but you know what I mean. Like it's like Sharpie, when Sharpie played, his role was never the main striker. He was always the second striker, the target man. Someone always played off him, and they always benefited from what he did. But his longevity and the amount he chipped in every season, being a good side, scoring 15 to 20 goals, you just hope that, as I said, Dominic Calvert-Lewin can be if he can get any half as good as Kane's goals, then at least, you know, with someone over them, then he'll have a decent striker. But as I say, like chalk and cheese, and him and Dele Alli, and it's just a case of don't get wound up by Dele Alli and keep your eye on Harry Kane.
Keep your eye on Harry Kane. What do you think about the Ghana situation? If he's going to be, don't know whether he's going to be fit.
I don't know.
Or not.
I don't know if he's going to be fit.
But if he was fit, he's added loads to that there, Danny Murphy. If he's fit, would you play him with McCarthy?
Yeah,
would you go with those two?
Yeah.
And pull Schneiderlin out?
Yeah, I would.
You would. Again,
I don't know what more you want from me.
I don't know whether have you just been replaced by Phil Neville. You're just literally saying what I say and saying yeah. What about? Well, like
no, I'd have Rooney.
Like Wayne Rooney.
I'd have Rooney instead of Schneiderlin.
Didn't play at Anfield. He was there, and he kicked the
His
couple.
body was there.
Didn't really play, did he?
No, he's just doing Pez tackles all over the gaff.
He was doing Pez tackles all over the gaff. So does he play, or?
I'd have Rooney in the Schneiderlin position.
As a Schneider, yeah.
And have because I think with McCarthy and Ghana, like we've seen at Anfield with McCarthy, and like we've seen McCarthy when he came on at Man United, you're defending then 15 yards higher up the pitch.
Yeah.
And if you the further away you can take Harry Kane from our goal, that's sound by me. But I just think that pressing allows you to play further up the pitch, and then because that's been one of our biggest problems, is not having people like Sigurdsson on the ball in dangerous areas. And you can only, when you've seen the goal at Anfield and seen how fast we broke, you can only do that by having players on the pitch in those areas. If you're breaking higher up the pitch, then you can utilise that pace. You know, I just think that's the element of all good teams at the moment in the Premier League. They're all pressing sides. You watch how it's trickled down from Barcelona, hasn't it? Win the ball back. The higher you win the ball back, you've already turned them, and then you're on the front foot. And if you've got fast players to get behind them, then suddenly, you know, they're worrying about you. And I think you can't. In the last 18 months, Garner has been our best player. Okay, he's had off bits and he's not in different bits. Has not been as good. In the last 18 months, he's been our best player. But you look at McCarthy and you just think, if you get McCarthy, you know, circa his first season, you've got someone who's got to play in the side, because he just adds a bite and he adds a pace. It's not like a running around the pit. It's just he gets
things quicker.
He does. He wins the tackle and gives it, and there's no messing about. Whereas you look at someone Sneijder, they want to hold on to the ball and look at every option on the pitch. McCarthy just has a very, very small window that picture he's already painted in his head. There's the ball, I win it and I give it and we go. And I just think that helps the whole team. I just think that helps the team move faster, because we're just too slow.
I think if you Sneijder said it before, if he was in someone like Liverpool or who were a quick side, when you've got everyone flying, he'd thrive, because they can take the ball, he just wins it. But with us, because we're not naturally a quick side, are we? So him slowing it down even more just means we have to play in front of it, teams. And
but what I like about that is that whatever you say about Rooney, what you can't take away from Rooney is the picture he's already got in his head of the pitch. He just, if you've got someone like McCarthy and you give it to Rooney, then Rooney's already on the go, and he's already seen what's going on. He already knows what that ball is. Whereas Sneijder wants to take a touch, and he slowed the game right down, and you've already allowed the team to get back. And that's you can't do that in the Premier League. Whereas what you said about Sneijder, which was one of the reasons that he wasn't playing well, is because he didn't have someone to just give the ball to, like a Ross Barkley, who would take the ball up the pitch. We don't have anyone like that in the team. So he suddenly had to change the way he plays, and now he's got to play to people who are also probably just standing still. So that everything's just gone to a stop. And I think that's really cost us this season. I think McCarthy just injects that pace, having Rooney in there, whether he's fit enough or he's got the right mental attitude, will just allow us to play a little bit more. So I'd definitely play the pair of them. But I wouldn't play the three of them. Okay. But I fear that he might, because he might think that Garner's fit and McCarthy's fit, as neither of them were at Bournemouth. Then that might allow him to play the way he wants it. But then he might have, if he's got Balassi who's a little bit fitter, and even a Lookman who's a little bit fitter, that might mean those two lads can play then. But I don't know which way he'll go.
Because I suppose if you've got the three as an actress, and then you've got three attackers, it kind of. But I don't think kind of get round it.
I don't know if three attackers will be enough.
But then Sigurdsson needs to play. So that's why one like Lookman won't play.
But no, I don't mind Lookman not playing. No, but I want him coming off the bench. I don't mind him. Like you just spoke about before. Lookman is a threat who comes off the bench. If you play against him, Lookman for me is the kind of player that in the first 5 to 10 minutes you know whether he's on it or not. And like you said before about what you saying about Carragher and Torres, is that he can come off the bench and actually affect the game. Whereas if he starts the game and he comes up against someone who's sharp, I think Lookman's the kind of kid who'll just put his head down and that's it then. So you're going to get an hour out of him, but it's not going to be very good hour. Whereas you put him in the last half an hour, this is what Lookman's role should be in the team at the moment. Where he's been at the club now for a year, and he should have almost perfected this role, coming off the bench. We've seen it in his second game, or did he start at Palace?
No, he come off
the bench, and he tormented them, and he allowed us to keep them on the back foot for the last 20 minutes, and that should be his role in the team now, coming on and saying to him, listen, just pick the ball up and run into space. Don't try and take people on, run into space and make them all chase after you. He'll leave them all, he'll leave them all behind.
Especially Wembley, big pitch. Once he's gone past one, it's a big space, isn't it? You know, as he proved the other night. But being accessible, like you say, these are a very, very good side. They're very compact, big side, physical side. So we'll have to and Eriksen's just absolutely fantastic footballer, isn't he? So there's a lot of people you have to look out for, as you do when you're playing good sides.
I will be honest though, I hope we have more shots, because I just don't fancy Lloris. I think he's always got a mistake in him. Or he makes some great saves, but I think he's always got a. I think he's on the turn.
He's on the like that milk that's been in the fridge.
That's been there for ages.
You know what I mean? It's on the date.
You have a sniff and
you go. You know what it is? It's not always a sniff either. You know, the first signs you put in, and there starts to be a few white dots on the top. The sniff mightn't have got you, but the
flakes,
white dots,
little flakes,
the white dots are the ones.
When it turns into yoghurt,
no, well, it's gone then. It's Tim Howard then. When it's yoghurt, well, it's full Howard.
He might as well have been E. coli. That's how much he turned. What?
Tough game. He was full on tough game. Let's have some shots.
No, I do. I do think he's on. I think.
Can anyone blammer it like Obiang? That's what I'm not.
Sigurdsson can.
Then Sigurdsson
from the halfway line
on sight at Lloris. His
advice. I do think he's actually more dodgy off crosses. So
put crosses in.
Get Jenk in there.
Jenk
Blassie
flying in.
Jenk.
Be all right.
The big German fella up front. Well, when you say he's Turkish,
well, he is Turkish. He plays
internationally. He's
exactly. Isn't his family Turkish?
Okay, leave it at that.
Big Jenk, hat-trick.
Let's just try and get through this. This is one of those games. Can we just try and get through this game, and then
let's just go and win it?
Yeah, go and win it. I'm not asked anymore. Just go and win it.
Just go at it. Just play. And then should play matador football. Back to Martinez days then. Just go at them. Just play.
Don't do that.
Play pressure-free football. Just go and batter them. Just go and batter Spurs 2-1.
Yeah.
That's our batter.
Go and batter them 1-1. And that'll do us. Anyway, let us know your thoughts in the comments. Are you confident, and do you think our new signing Tosun should start this game against Spurs? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget, if you haven't already subscribed, please do. Click the bell for alerts, and if you want more videos, join us on Patreon. We'll see you later.
Always check your milk.